Hi there, I'm Kim Christmas, and this is part 2 of A Cherry Nice Day. This is the piece that we're working on right now. We're just doing a little sample. We've already covered the background and the modeling and some of the tints on the side corners and the little checks around the edge. And I've gone ahead and transferred my cherry branch and cherry pattern onto my piece. I'm not going to show you how to do the bird today, but we're going to start and finish our tree and some cherries. And for our tree we're going to need a number 1 liner and also a number 5/0 liner. So we've got the thicker one first to make the heavier part of our branch, and you can see on this branch that it's not one solid color. We've got actually 4 or 5 colors in there, and this is just a simple coloring technique. We're going to start with the lightest color first, which is our raw sienna. So you just tip your brush into the paint lightly and just pull in the colors of your branch. If you find that it's dragging a little bit on the wood tag, then you can just add a little bit of water to your brush, not too much. And just use your number 1 liner for the heavier areas of your brush. You can switch to the 5/0, or what, you can use any liner that you have. This just happens to be the one that I'm using today. And again, just pull from the wide edge of the brush into the tip area and lift up, and that'll give you a nice point on the end of your tree branch. And we're not looking for straight lines here. We can put some unevenness in there in our stroke, and just wiggle the brush a little bit and let it do its branch thing. That's pretty simple. And you can keep using the same brush, dip into a darker color. I've got traditional burnt umber, so a little bit of that will give us some shade on the bottom area of our brush, or on our tree. And while the paint is still wet, it blends in there just nice. Don't try to blend it in completely because you'll just cover up your first color. Try to concentrate the darker color underneath your branches, just where a shade would be, you know, when you're standing outside looking at the tree right in front of you. There. And to add a little bit of richness, I've got some russet, and it has a little bit more red in it. It's a reddish brown, and you can just bring in a little bit of that here and there. And it just adds interest to have more than one color rather than just one flat brown color. And some yellow on the top edge will give us a nice little highlight. And if you don't like it, something that you've done, you can just take a dampened Q-tip and maybe just tap it out a little bit. It's also a good blending tool. So that's our little tree branch. That's pretty simple, right? And for the cherries, I want to show you how to paint some of these cute little cherries. So we're going to use a 2/0 mini shader. This is a really cool brush to have on hand for any small items. And you're just going to load with water and then blot, and use a little bit of boysenberry pink to paint your little cherry shapes here. And you don't have to use these brushes. You can use a round brush, that works really well too. In the smaller size, maybe a 1 or a 2. Yeah. And while we were let our little cherries dry, we can go back to our liner and just add a little bit of plantation pine for the stems. Really simple. And you just use a little bit of water to thin your paint. Now you'll notice on these cherries here that they look a little darker along the bottom edge and light on the top. That's a shade and a highlight. And I'm going to use a very small 1/4 inch angular shader to create that shade on the bottom of my cherries. And you just load your brush with water, blot on paper towel, and then just tip the very edge of your, or the point of your angular into cinnamon drop. And just as we did in video 1, back and forth, blend the paint into the brush, pinch the outside edge of your brush so that it's clean, because we want a nice clean stroke here on the bottom of our cherries, and just lay the color down along the bottom of the cherry. Just like that. You can see the dimension building already. And you'll use the same method with white. To highlight the top of the cherry just a little bit. Cute, huh? And I want to show you how to make these cute little leaves. And you can use your same brush for that. Dip into the plantation pine first and then into avocado dip. And you can load those two colors together just a little bit. And then we come to our piece, and let's put a leaf right here. And we're going to make 2 strokes, a little C shape and then a backwards S. I don't know if you can see that. A C and a backwards S. And you've got your chisel edge laying down the point up forward, a C and a backwards S. And you can place those wherever you want on your cute little branch. And if you need more of a highlight, add the lighter green. And you can put them wherever you want, falling down. So, that's our cherry branch for a cherry nice day. If you would like to have the instructions for this pattern, which includes this super cute little necklace, those things are available on my website at www.kimchristmas.com. I hope you enjoyed learning these little tips. See you next time.